Bonjour à tous, bonsoir à tous. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Flaneurz Click Live. Bonjour à tous. Bienvenue dans le live de Flaneurz. Dans quelques secondes, Marawa the Amazing va nous rejoindre. In few seconds, Marawa the Amazing will join you. She's a very, very inspiring skater. I'm very, very happy to interview her today. Once again, for the English speaker, sorry about my bad English, but I'm sure you're gonna understand. And for the French speaker, I'll make it way easier with my bad French accent. Marawa, please join us. Send us the little invitation. Alors I can see she's there. Guys, if you want to ask some question to Marawa, please let me know and I will ask her at the end of our talk. Connection is going on.
Florian,
Bonjour Marawa.
I gave myself a quarantine. I just gave myself a quarantine fringe cut.
Me too.
Yours is great. You got it very smooth.
I had no choice. A lot of guys have this hairdo. This is the quarantine hairdo. Hello Marawa, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va très bien, merci.
I tried to do it.
I'm very, very happy to interview you today as you are a big inspiration for a lot of skaters and for myself too. You know, I've been following you for a long time.
It's been a long time.
And I think we met long time ago, so maybe 5-6 years ago in Barcelona.
At least, yeah. And then a few flybys in Paris.
Yeah, because it seems that you have a link with France.
I love Paris. I only stay in London to go to Paris. That's
okay. No, I know you like London too.
I do, and my French is terrible, so I have to, you know.
Yes. So thank you very much for doing this interview with us. We have a lot of questions. You are an amazing people. It's here in your name, Marawa the Amazing, and you have many things that you can tell. But this interview will be more skate oriented. I can see skate behind.
Yeah, I thought I had a good background. Look at all my pillows. I've been sewing pillows in quarantine. But they're not skates.
Sewing pillows.
I thought I had such a good setup, but I haven't really. Anyway, I don't want to touch it; it'll fall over.
I can see skates on the side.
All right, good. I'll just.
Okay, so please, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Marawa.
Yes. Where do you live?
I'm in Los Angeles, in one of the scarier countries to be locked down in right now, but we're surviving. But I'm from Australia. I'm from Melbourne, and I spend part of the year in London. Normally, not this year, I don't think. Traveling around, hula hooping, roller skating.
Okay, so what do you do? I know all the answers, but I'm making like I don't know them.
I know all the answers, so I'm trying to.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a professional. I don't know. Sometimes I write professional hula hooper. Sometimes I write international showgirl, depending on which country I'm flying into. I have 12 world records. I do a lot of roller skating. A lot of people know because of these beautiful, beautiful skates. This is my. This is my bread and butter skate. This is the touring skate. Look how shiny they are. And then
they are
not to be forgotten or anything than my wedding skates.
Wedding skates? Did you? It was your wedding skate?
This was my wedding skate because.
Okay, so tell me.
These skates are my show skates.
Yes.
But
yes.
You know, beauty comes at a price sometimes, and these are not the most comfortable things to skate in for hours and hours. And I wanted to not be in pain on my wedding. So it's a slightly shorter version.
And they are more comfortable?
Oh God, I could skate forever in these, yeah.
Yes?
No worries.
Okay, so as we are sharing our private life and as we are sharing our wedding skate, I have to show you my wife's wedding skate.
Yes, I want to see because I've only seen pictures. And I love that they're on the shelf. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Those were my wife's wedding skates.
This
so
is everyone's chance for a screen grab. No, put them back, put them back. This is the screen grab opportunity for anyone that's watching. This is it. Last chance. 3, 2.
So as we went directly into the subject of the high heel skates,
yes.
How did this idea came to you?
Well, so I skated forever before I remember being on them, because I was 2 and I had little tiny ones. And so I always skated everywhere, switched into rollerblades, don't judge, love rollerblades, skate a lot in rollerblades, went back to roller skates, always had skates and blades around. And then when I started performing, and I maybe I just love shoes. Oh, should we do a little, maybe we should do this. Now I've moved it. Let's see if it all stays together. But I also really like high heels.
Okay.
As you can
Okay.
see.
So combination of two patients, high heels and skates.
So yeah, I really love high heels, and I couldn't, you know, it just seemed like the most logical thing to do, to put the two together. So
yes.
But that was a lot easier said than done. So the idea,
and when,
you know, between the idea and the reality, there was quite a lot of time, but we got there.
But as you know, there were some people having this idea before. When you had this idea yourself,
yeah,
it came to you, or it was because you saw some pictures on internet, or?
No, I had the idea and I wanted to do it, and then I started doing the Pinterest searching, and I found the classic, like that gold skate from like the 60s, 70s, that picture that everyone, every time it goes around on Facebook or Instagram, 1,000 people tag you and they're like, look at this roller skate. And it's got like one wheel on the...
One wheel in the back, yes.
And then...
well, we call a ruffle, crazy wheel, because it turns. It's a wheel that can turn also like this, not only like this. I think those are impossible to skate.
Yeah, I don't think they're skatable. And then also those Keith Haring ones, those crazy crystalled over the knee ones. So there were like some pictures going around, but yeah, like you said, there weren't really any usable working models.
Nope. Nope. And how did you make them? Because you know, most of the skates, I mean, most of the people that do skates, they do like me. They take a classic skate plate and they drill the shoe on them.
Yeah.
But yours, the plate is cut in two. I mean, you don't have this part in between.
No.
You have the two trucks. And who made those for you? And how did you find this?
I just wrote to everyone I could think of that was like more on a technical construction, like people that did things with like props, or people that worked in welding and all sorts of different things, to find someone who could like cut it all, make it all, and make it like the picture, but also a usable version. No one gets
okay. And who? So you asked everybody, you bought everybody, and who answered?
Someone in London who worked at the Royal Opera House. She was fabulous.
Okay.
Wore steel cap shoes, which I loved, and I was like, "This is brilliant."
And what is this person normal job? What does she do? She worked for the opera, you said?
Yeah, she worked at the Opera House. She did props, so she could make anything, like things out of metal structures, or you know, anything you could imagine.
And all your skates have been made by this person?
No, different people. Yeah.
Different people. Yeah. One stage, one people.
And then these ones. Who did these ones?
These ones, I know who they're from. They might be from Skate Fanatics.
Yes, Pete.
Yeah, Pete. Shout out to Pete. And those are the Quadzilla wheels.
They are. Look at you.
The Fon Merlin wheels. Guys, if you are looking for indoor wheels, check out Fon Merlin's wheels. They're made from Quadzilla, very famous skater that came from, he's the best in everything. He was the best in street skating.
Also, how many
inline
people,
skating.
Who was there? Who was in Barcelona? How many people did he jump over?
I think he can jump over 10. Might be over 10.
He'd like lie everyone down and jump over them. And then he'd be like, oh yeah, add another person, add another. And I was like, I don't want to be one of those people in the end when they're like still working out.
And you know, for me, my older brother, he used to look at videotape when we were teenager, and we had one called Mad Beef, and it was an inline street skating videotape. And who is in it? Quadzilla.
Of course.
So I was looking at him when I was 12 years old, saying, wow, this man is the dude. And now I can see him dance. He was playing for the national team, USA roller derby, he was world champion.
And like I remember in Barcelona, was very good teacher. Because
yep.
I have a lot of trouble sometimes, you know, being a good skater or good at whatever skill is one thing, but being able to teach it, totally different skill set. What have I done?
He's the guy. That's okay. Your hair are cool.
It just keeps
still looking like. So we went directly into the high heel subject, and those are okay. So let's talk about those ones.
I didn't want to. I know we've got limited time, so I want to make sure that we talk about my favorite.
Okay, but
my favorite skates.
I had my list of questions, but we won't follow the list of questions. You popped up with those skates. Tell us the story about those skates.
This is a great story. I have been trying to make skates for years. I have talked to every skate brand. A lot of skate brands are like, you know this. We've talked about this. We're just having the same conversation again, Florian. But like I've had like so many. You know, I would talk to these brands that were like so old school, and they're like, this is how we do it. We make this many skates. We make these colors. This is how it works. And I was like, oh, and I was like trying for ages to like, I was like, but I want to make like this. Like, it's so beautiful. Make beautiful skates. And so that was going on. That had been going on. And then you get random DMs in your Instagram, and this brand started popping up called Impala, and they were like, oh, we want to send you some skates. And I was like, who are you? I was like, you can send me skates, but I'm not going to promote them. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, what's going on? And they sent me one pair, and then I got them, and I was like, you know, I've been skating. I've had every brand over the years. You know, I've seen skate technology change. I've made skates. Like I've seen it all. And I was like, this is a really good skate. Like, and they're $120. I was like, these are made really well. Like all the parts, like so often with a cheap skate, the parts aren't made well. And, you know, you can't adjust things, or the frames are plastic, or like all these sorts of things. And I was like, this is a really good skate. That's kind of crazy. And they're vegan. And I was like, this is amazing. And it kept going on, and I was like, who are they? Where'd they come from? And then I realized that they were writing to me from Australia, from Melbourne. I'm from Melbourne. I was like, that's crazy. And then I was talking to Indy Jammer Jones, another favorite fabulous skater out here. And, you know, she's got Planet Roller Skates, so she knows everyone in the skate industry as well. And I said, who's Impala? What's going on with Impala? Where's Impala? And she said, oh, they're part of Globe. And I was like, because I worked in
Globe, which is a big skateboard brand.
Huge skateboard.
Skateboard apparel, shoe.
Huge. Yep. But when I was like a little grommet, when I was a little teen skater, like 14, 15, worked at Box Hill Skate Ski Surf, the brothers that started Globe were from Box Hill, from my same neighborhood. And like, you know, obviously they're probably 10, 15, maybe years older than me. So for me, I was like, they were just these amazing skateboarders, and they started this amazing brand from the ground up. And it was like people who were in the industry, who started something in the industry. And I followed their whole story, and I always thought they were the most amazing brand anyway. And then to find out that that was Impala, I was just like my brain exploded. And so I had been talking to one of the Globe reps who had sent me the skates, and I immediately wrote back to her, and I was like, hold up. I was like, you're in my hometown, and these are people that I used to look up to so much when I was younger. And I was like, I can't believe this is all clicking into place. And then from that conversation, we kept talking, and I was like so obsessed. And then, and she was like, you know, they were into doing collabs and stuff. And then they asked me if I want to do one. And I was like, oh my God. And that's how it happened. And then from that, my absolute, still brings tear to my eyes, dream skate that I got to design was born.
So you made the design of those.
I wanted marble wheels to look like Dynasty, the TV show, for anyone who has not enjoyed that. Which also are great because the more you wear them, like these are pretty worn in and they're pretty dirty, but you can't really tell because the wheels are marble, so they're meant to be like that. And a vegan skate with custom lining, and the box was so, and I was just like, out of everything I've done, it's my favorite thing. So that's the story.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We've been talking about the skates, but I want to know, how did you end up skating? How did you start it? And why did you kept on skating?
So I was 2. So I can't really take credit for choosing. My mum put me in a tiny little pair of skates. She bought a pair of skates for $20 out of the trading post, which I guess is like, what's that thing? Like Craigslist or something now, or like Facebook,
Okay.
you know, with the marketplace or whatever. Like it was a little newspaper, it was Trading Post, and someone was selling these skates for $20. They were blue, and then they had a yellow and a red stripe, and they had orange wheels. Very ugly, but kind of cute. And
Ugly but kind of cute.
yeah.
That's very precise. Very precise.
Kind of way. But I've got 3 brothers and sisters, so all 4 of us had those skates, like these tiny little skates, and that's how we started. And it was like, you know, when you start that young, it's like it feels like walking. It's this, you don't have, you know, and you're so much closer to the ground than if you learn as an adult. So you're not as scared, and you kind of bounce, you know, and it just became second nature. So, and my mum still skate, like we all skate, the whole family skates. So we.
Your mom is a skater too?
To this day, yeah. But now she's much more of a blader. She like goes down to the beach on Sundays. She parks the car. She skates. And when I go back to Melbourne, I always go with her. And then she skates for like a couple of miles, goes to a little coffee shop, gets her coffee, has her coffee break, takes in the sun. The beach is beautiful. Melbourne, people don't realize. Forget Sydney. There's a whole, Melbourne's great. Melbourne, it gets a little colder, but it's beautiful. And then she skates back. Super fit. She's the fittest lady out there. She's the best.
And so when you were a child with you were 4 brother and sister and your mother, and were you going to rinks, or it was outside skating?
So we lived overseas for a lot of my childhood. So it was tricky. There weren't really rinks where we were. One of the countries we lived in had a skate club at the school. So they would take over the basketball courts on Wednesdays, and you could have like, they do all the games and stuff. So that was probably the best time. When we lived in the Middle East, it was weird because like we were the only people that had skates, but everything in the Middle East is like smooth. Like it's either marble or it's like beautiful concrete. I mean, it's hot, but you just time it right. You go early in the morning or in the evening. So you could skate amazing, you know, distances and places. It was really beautiful. But not so much, and I never really had as a child like the rink culture, which is why in America I'm like, as soon as I started spending more time here, and when I first went to New York to work in cabaret, but I, you know, went straight to Central Park, you know, I went to the last night at the Roxy, like would go to Crazy Legs, like, and I can't skate like that. Like I wish, you know, I have a very, you know.
Slowly, you're getting it.
I'm slowly.
You will.
Bit, you know, I'm always working on it, and I love it, but I didn't grow up with it, so, you know.
And you kept on skating when you were a teenager, or
yeah? And then I skated, and then
you stopped and
then I skated. I skated ramps. I had K2 250s. I had rollerblades. I had the big, you know.
Oh, K2.
I worked in the skate shop, so I had, and the K2 rep really liked me, so I had beautiful skates. And then we went through the whole thing of like, you know, blades, like aggressive blades. You didn't have grind plates. They had nothing inbuilt. There was none of this inbuilt stuff. So you had to like wear the wheels down or like cut in part of the frame, and you know, and I used to, you know, there was a 16-foot half pipe down at Paran Skate Park, and I used to skate that, and you know, I was really into grinding. And actually the thing that stopped me was when they started bringing out skates that had these built-in grind plates. And I remember you'd get up on the rails and you'd just go whoosh, like so fast. And I was like, it's too fast, I can't handle it. Like it was too quick. So, but yeah, I loved to grip. And they had, I mean, it was that thing of like where I lived in Melbourne, Camberwell, like which one of the suburbs was like, this is super early days of like, you know, there was no skate parks. There was like Paran Skate Park, which was, took like an hour to get there on the train or whatever. But, you know, Camberwell Council got like $100,000 to build a skate park. So I was like on the council as like a teen rep, and we like worked with the council to like design and build this skate park, which is still there and is where my brother broke his wrist and where a lot of great things have happened.
How old were you? How old were you when you helped the council building the skate park?
I think I was about 18 or 19. Like I think I just finished school and I was studying, and it was like just brand new, and it's still there. It's a great skate park, and it's all concrete, but it's great, and it's, you know, and it really helped build skating culture there. And then in London, when I moved to London, I used to work a lot in Blackpool, which is like up north. And when I used to go to Blackpool, I was like, this is skaters' paradise. Like it's just concrete everywhere, you know, but no one skated. There was no skating in Blackpool. And I wrote, I knew someone at the council because we were always there for these circus festivals. And I was like, you know, you need to have skating up here. Like there's all these kids, there's all this concrete, like you have to have skating. And so I did a proposal for them, and we did like a 4-month project. I think we taught something like 700 kids in Blackpool, and Leo Oppenheim and Jenna Downing, who are 2 big UK skaters who were like a part of the British Health Foundation or whatever, they came as well, and we ran this project, and we like got all these kids skating there. So, and now there's like a skate club there, so we got skating happening there. I just think, you know, anywhere where there's a lot of concrete, I'm like, come on guys. That's why Barcelona, the best.
Got you. And then I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but in London you studied performing arts and circus?
No, that was in Australia.
Ah, that was in Australia.
Yeah.
And was it still from the beginning, it was your idea to put skating into those performance?
Yeah, it was kind of like the high heel skate thing. Like when I was at circus school, I knew I wanted to do aerial, so I did swinging trapeze. That was my main specialty, and then I also knew that trapeze was exhausting, and I was like, I don't want to do aerial 24/7. So you do 2 main subjects. So I did hula hoops as well, because I did rhythmic gymnastics when I was younger. And so I already had like a lot of hula hoop, jump rope kind of skills, like hand-eye coordination skills. So hula hoops felt really natural. Swinging trapeze I knew I really wanted to do. And then obviously with the hula hoops, it was just like, you know, it's a circus school. You're there for 3 years. You try it's like a one-man. You try every combination of everything that you can put together. So it made perfect sense to roller skate and hula hoop at the same time. It was just.
But were there a teacher of skating? I think you had a teacher for hula hoops.
Yeah, I had a teacher for hula hoops, Arturo Gomez from Argentina, whose daughter Gypsy is one of the best hula hoopers, still hula hooping at Silver Circus. But there was not a roller skating teacher, no. Although Jing, who is a handstand coach, decided at one point, he took me under his wing as a protege to try and make me do that spinning, you know, with one person attached to you. And of course, me being the bigger person at a circus school, because most, you know, little acrobats are petite, little tiny people, but I'm not that, you know, in comparison, I'm not at all. So I was going to have to be the base, and he would make me spin with these weights on my neck, and I was just like, Jing, no, I've done. And he was like, yes, this is going to be a great act for you. And I was like, no, and I don't like spinning like forever. You know, you get real dizzy. So those acts are. Do you
know the one of the specialists of this practice are the skating pillars in France? I don't know if you know them. They won Ours d'Or at Monte Carlo.
I must have seen it. Where are they?
They play every night at Moulin Rouge.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's a brother and a sister.
It's usually a brother. And
they are really, really good. Yeah. And we have link with them, with Flaneurz, because they do have Flaneurz and so on. And they are some of the French specialists coming from a circus family.
Yeah.
And the parents were doing this and so on. And all the grandparents, they even have some boots that you can clip on, like
the original
old school Flaneurz.
Yeah.
I saw them. It was crazy.
Amazing.
It was crazy. So
I haven't seen them. I've heard about them. I haven't seen that one. I know there's a couple in Vegas, and then I used to tour with the Skating Willers, who were they had been doing that act for 30 years, I think, when we were working together. They're just so old school and amazing, and just the tricks are just
It's an amazing discipline.
amazing.
It's really, really amazing. So, so a little bit of London, a lot of show all around the world. You made me do one with you it was in
Italy.
Italy for Diesel.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
So you did show everywhere and you end up in LA
Yeah.
and you started skate party.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad you remember all of this. I would have forgotten. Oh my God.
I prepared the interview, you know. I prepared the interview. I have all the questions.
Very organized. Very organized. Yeah, that. Oh man, Paradise Roller Disco.
What is it? Moonlight Roller Disco? Marawa Moonlight Roller Paradise Roller Disco.
Paradise Roller Disco. This one right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, the best. The best. Usher came.
And yeah, there was a question too. How did you guys? This girl is throwing party. Usher is coming. How did you make this?
You know,
What is the trick?
it's LA.
What is the trick?
LA.
It's LA.
Things, you know, LA is just, it's that kind of, it made it, when it happened, I was like, this couldn't be more cliched and more LA. Because I got this call and it was like, Usher wants to come to the party. And I was like, really? And they were like, because you know, they're all, it was wild. Like, you know, I've been involved in other situations like that where celebrities come and you like, they have all these people around them that keep, you know, there's someone that like looks after them and there's all these rules and all this stuff and it's all complicated. And, you know, I've done a lot of events with that around, so I know how to deal with it. And so when I got the call, you know, you don't know what to expect until it actually happens. But, you know, we had the call and he was coming and then it was, you know, he was out the front. We had to send someone to, you know, and I was like, oh God, is this going to be a nightmare? And also it was extra fun because like so many girls from London happened to be at that one who were over in LA at the time. So, and I didn't tell anyone, because you don't know if it's going to happen either. So no one knew. And to my amazement, full credit to Usher, he rocks up. He is completely in, he had a afro wig, glasses, the shirt, the pants.
Yeah, you couldn't recognize him.
You couldn't recognize him. And so
he was incognito.
He was, and also because I hadn't told anyone and no one knew, and it's dark and it's roller disco. He turns up, he sits down, he literally shoves his shoes under the table. He puts his skates on, he had his own skates, and he hit the rink. And no one. It took maybe 45 minutes for anyone to realize. And he was just having the best time. He was just skating. Like sometimes he'd have a little dance with someone. He'd just roll around. He's
good. Skater. He's good though. I saw him because he goes in regular parties,
yeah.
in skate nights and festivals and so on. He like Chris Brown,
yeah,
Usher. They often go.
And so, one friend of mine, Lily, who's the sweetest skater. Did you see that video of her I put on Paradise last week spinning? She's the most amazing spinner. She spins. It was 32 spins or something. I'll send you the video. She's amazing. Anyway, so she was there and she's like, again, this is before anyone had worked it out. And he like came behind her and was like skating with her. And then he like spun her around. And I literally saw the moment she's like turning around and then she looked at him and then she came out of the spin and she was just like, and like you saw in her mind, and then I saw her stories on Instagram and she's like, oh my God, I'm skating with Usher, I can't believe it. I was like, it's so cute. It was so cute. And then once everyone worked it out, which was, you know, inevitable, he was amazing. I've never seen anyone work a room like that. He took every picture, shook every hand, every hug, every and then he was gone. It's amazing.
Okay, so he had a good, because he might have a good vibe. The party was going on well.
Good vibe.
I saw how did you end up with the ideas to throw parties like this?
Same. It's almost the same story as like making these. Like trying to get the rinks to like let you do a party is like a whole, you know, groveling act of like, please, because I'm just, you know, I go to a lot of the parties, but the music is like, why is the music so bad? And then even if the music's
I can advise you good parties in LA though. You should go to College Night, World on Wheels.
Yes.
You should go to the one.
World on Wheels. World on Wheels is the one that has the best music for sure. But I get almost like tinnitus. Their sound system. I'm sorry, World on Wheels. You need to fix your speakers. the sound is terrible. It's not, it's frustrating because you can hear the song you want to be hearing, but you're like, ah. And then all the, like Chino, Fountain Valley, it takes an hour and a half for me to drive there. Like, and then I skate, like I've done it a few times, and I go and I skate and I try and stop myself before I'm tired. But either way, I get back in the car and I'm like, I can't, I'm going to die on the way.
You need the chauffeur. You need to go in a limo with the chauffeur. Come on.
True. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Yeah. Just like
you have to
Uber to get home.
I'm sure you know how to behave like a queen. So you should go at a skate night like a queen. You end up at Fontaine Valley with a limo, and
but
I've been there though, and I bought some fiberglass wheels, some I made the sliders and so on, and I don't want to do some looking for troubles and so on. But you saw the documentary,
yes,
United Skates.
Yes.
And I think it was at the place where you do the parties. What is the name of this?
Well, I've done
Moonlight.
the parties. I've done the parties at Moonlight. I've done the parties at Skateland, and I've done the party in New York with
at Skateland too.
Dreamland.
And do they
Dreamland, Skateland, and Moonlight?
Do they let at Moonlight? Do they let the fiberglass wheels in now? Because you know in United Skates you see this Felicia, a girl that they are following. She tried to go skate at Moonlight with her fiberglass. They kick her out. They kissed her out.
No, I haven't. Look, I'll be very honest. Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Why are you asking?
Okay, so stop. I didn't want to get better.
I'll say this much. I didn't watch the whole of it because I found it very frustrating to watch.
What, United Skates?
Yes. I got very frustrated. Why? Oh my God, I don't know if I can.
Okay. Okay. Guys, you have to, if you want to know the answer, you have to send some DMs to Marawa.
I'm waiting for the DMs. Here are some point form things I'm just going to put out there that are just facts. I just like facts. Fact. I've seen a lot of, and this has nothing to do with anything other than skate maintenance. I have seen a lot of skates where the wheels are not always looked after and the frames, I've seen people skating on frames and I've seen what it does to a floor, right? In a rink. When you don't look after your wheels and you don't look after your skates, you can ruin the floor of the rink. I'm not saying that's a convenient excuse. I'm just saying I've seen it. I've seen it happen. As for the purposes of America, or let's get real technical, as a half black person in America, and as someone who knows other black people in America, people say, the first time I did the party at Moonlight, I had a lot of white people write to me and say, why are you doing your party there? That's a racist drink. And I said, because it's 10 minutes from my house. I've never had a problem with them. And I know 2 other black people that work there. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. Well, didn't you see that documentary? Didn't you see United Skates? And I said, the one that was produced by, I can't.
White people.
Just look up who produced it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. But that's, okay, so you are opening doors.
Yeah, I'm opening.
In a way.
Sure, yeah. Look, if someone can show me something black and white on this, write to me. But if someone wants to watch a glossy, something that's produced by people that have, I'm going to get myself in so much trouble. I just don't think that the intention
we can
of
go
that
next subject, but
was pure. You can read, like, here's my point. Here's another fact. If you look at who produced that documentary, there are 2 people that were involved in producing it, and you can look it up. And they specifically show that they were looking for an African-American to be added as an executive producer to be part of the weight behind it. But that person was not involved in the production of it. And I just think that people love to fuel something that's already such a big thing in this country. And as someone who's an Australian citizen and didn't grow up here, I'm fully aware that I'm not taking away from what the show highlights or that kind of thing, but specifically to me and specifically relating to my relationship with rinks, I'll go in. And specifically to the wheel thing, I've seen wheels cut up floors. But I don't know but I'm also speaking without having seen the scene with the fiberglass wheel, so I'm not gonna. I think that's enough.
That's a good documentary though, and the most rinks there will be with the most different people, the most different music, the best it will be for our culture.
Yeah.
And you have to have rinks for and music for every kind of people.
Absolutely.
And people are not looking for the same thing when they are going to rinks, and
Absolutely.
That's good that rinks are giving different things to different people.
Absolutely.
Being opened. And so we met 6-7 years ago in Barcelona. At this time, skating was coming back, but not as it is now.
Yeah.
How did you know? And why? I mean, you loved it, and did you feel that you were going to create skates yourself, doing parties, and did you feel that it was going to be grow this way?
For me personally,
Yep.
it's not. Nothing's changed. I'm so excited that everyone else is into it. Like, I keep doing interviews where they're like, roller skating's back. Oh my God, what a great time to jump on the trend. How did you know? And I'm like, it's always been around. Like, I'm not, like my mum, she's out in Melbourne. She's, like, nothing's changed. It's great that we're having this resurgence, especially right now, and especially with, like, in a time where social media is kind of slowly just like rotting and destroying our brains, and everyone's making content where they're like, here's how I did my hair today. And it's like, we need to have, like, the thing that's great about people that might not necessarily have got involved in this culture or been part of it, especially during quarantine, because I think there are a lot of people during quarantine who are going, this is brilliant. I'm stuck at home and I'm going to buy this pair of skates because they're not $600 like they used to be. We can get an affordable, really good fit skate right now. And, and I'm at home. I'm not at the rink or in a car park or down the beach. And I can learn at home because there's all these great tutorials online, and I can practice at home. I run another Instagram account called Bruising. And so people send in pictures of bruises, and now we're getting all these pictures of people that are like, I was practicing in my kitchen and I fell on my broom and then I hit a count, it's all these like at home injuries now, but like it's opening it up to, people. I think the sport's becoming much more accessible, and that's great. And I think, things come in and out, get fidget spinners for one summer and then you get, but I think roller skating, I do think it's not going to be just something that next year is gone. I think it's really coming back, permanently.
Yeah, but it's we were saying this with Candice and Morgan, with whom we were talking. Roller skating is 300 years old, and if you look at the beginning of the 20th century in Paris, there were 12 rinks. Yeah. And there were thousands and thousands of skaters, much more than now. Also, and now there is none in Paris.
But also, just
maybe the beginning of the wave back.
Also, just have to have a little shout out for the French police on rollerblades. Never forget, my favorite. I never stop being excited when I see a French policeman on rollerblades. It is the coolest thing. I will clap them. Everything goes flying down the street. So good.
We don't have rings, but we have police on skates. Yes, we do. French particularities.
This is what I hope. So this is my hope. I'm like, this is great. Everyone's got the skates. Skateboarding's in the Olympics. Good for them. We got skate parks everywhere. Blah blah blah. I mean, I just can't skateboard, so that's why I get mad. But hopefully, the problem with the rink, it's not rocket science. It's super duper duper expensive to make and to run, especially if it's not an existing one, if you have to start from scratch. No one's making a new rink. Maybe in Dubai. I think they have a couple in Dubai.
In Dubai, there is one coming up.
Yeah.
There is one coming up.
Yes. Because they've also got indoor skiing, and they've got, camel helicopters. Like, they can do anything there. It's the Middle East. But But yes, they do. Imagine if American cops were on skates, not eating donuts in cars. They'd be fit cops. Anyway,
Fit cops. Yeah, but rinks are cool. I love to dance,
cool.
and now I love the woods and everything, but skating outside, I mean, skating is freedom. So with soft wheels, you can skate everywhere you want.
And yeah, no, for sure. But I think, you know, the biggest problem, anything that's to do with outdoors, especially in America, like you got to have alcohol. And I think back in the day you could have alcohol, but now in America, again, I know I'm being very specific, everyone sues everyone. You sue this person, sue that person. So you're going to have alcohol at a rink. It's like we had our wedding at the rink and we wanted to have an alcohol license, and it was like, I don't know, it was like $15 extra per head for the insurance because everyone sues everyone here. So as a business model, it doesn't make any sense. That said, there are a lot of stupid things. How many of these escape rooms are there? All these things, you know, I mean, I know they're easier to set up, but the more this thing grows, I hope, I dream, my plan, my hope is that we'll get more rinks.
Marawa, did you hear, guys? Marawa is going to open a rink.
No joke. Marawa has been trying, as she does for a long time, quietly, trying to get a rink that's already.
Come, do one in Paris, please. London or Paris, not too far. LA is too far.
We'll have to shut down. We'll have really good heating.
Marawa, what would be your advice for a beginner skater?
Get your skates now because we're stuck at home. We can't go outside. People always say, what size should I get? Should I size up? Should I size down? Da, 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 da. When I used to fit skates at the skate shop, and I don't understand why universally this hasn't always been the case, because I don't understand. It's like the power sockets. Why do we have all the different power sockets? Why is it that sign language is different in every language? Did you know that? It's ridiculous. At least you could have all had the same sign language. Why is it that we have a US 8, which is a UK 7, which is a European? You know how we used to fit skates? Again, centimeters, inches, but it was centimeters. So my foot is 25 centimeters long. And most skates, I don't know if mine do actually. No, see, this is how it used to be. But anyway, most of the sizing charts will say US, UK, Euro, and then a centimeter measurement.
Centimeter.
Use that. Get your ruler out. Draw a line on the floor, whatever. And use the centimeters. Read up on the widths. Because it sucks if you're ordering and then you have to send them back and blah, 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 if you can't go to the shop, because that's what was so nice about being able to physically go into the shop. I used to be I had a badge. It said skate technician. And I used to fit people's skates, and I would put skates and ski boots in the heat, and you'd have to blow out if they had wide feet. So I could always blow my skates out just a little bit because I feel like I've got kind of wide.
Hello, feet.
But yeah, if you need to make them wider. But actually, I saw something I can't believe I saw it on TikTok. Someone who was showing you how you can do it with a hairdryer and put lots of socks on. Don't quote me. Go and find it, because she was like, don't melt your skate. But she was like expanding her boot basically DIY at home. But get your skates now, and then take advantage of the thousands of tutorials. Planet Roller Skate, Playtone. We've got a bunch on Saturday at the Majorettes. Are doing a festival all day. They're doing a bunch of workshops. There's workshops and tutorials everywhere, and now's the time.
LA Roller Girls,
Yes.
Roller Feet,
Yeah.
Dance Skates.
Yeah. There's so
lots
many.
of tutorials.
And learning at home means that you can be on carpet, or you can be, you know, in the safety of near things to grab onto that are soft, and you can get your balance. You can just stand in them, stand on one foot, get your balance, bend down, learn how to fall. Have to learn how to fall. It's the first thing you have to do is learn how to fall over, because as long as you know to fall forwards, knees and wrists, you're not going to go backwards, which is the classic how to break your wrist in one shot and really hurt your bum. So learn to fall forwards, practice at home, and then once we're outside again in the real world, you'll have all of those basic bits ready and you'll be able to take off.
Okay.
Just get them.
I'm looking at people's question.
Oh, yeah.
People are asking, how do you skate without a heel? Not talking about heel skate. You do have some Flaneurz. You do have the skates that are made by skate fanatics, so sneaker skates. how do you feel? Heel or no heel? How do you do to skate with both skates?
Oh, like what's the difference?
Yes, and how do you end up managing skating with heel or no heel?
So obviously because I had 20 years of experience on flat skates, that just feels second nature. But the heel skates is a whole nother balance issue. You know, everyone's probably seen those, you know, diagrams, or maybe not, but most women I think have seen a picture at some point of like why you shouldn't wear high heels. And it's a picture of, you know, a woman standing with the heels like this and then her back goes out and it's like, oh, this is terrible for your posture and blah, 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 blah. But I did a lot of dance. If you do dance, you look at ballerinas, point shoes. Standing on point is a completely different way of standing. See how I turned into a ballerina immediately? Like that. So you have a different, you know, like your center is slightly different because you're up on your tippy toes. There isn't any weight on your heels. You're not, you really don't use the heels. If you, especially walking, running in high heels, when I wear heels for shows, I'm often aware that the heels are not even actually on the ground. You're always just really up on your toes. That's the weight that you're using. So it's just it's different. You need to have that training. You need to have, you know, really strong ankles. You need to have really strong feet, and you also need to stretch, and you can't just like jump in and out. Like I think I have quite good, I keep putting my feet in this screen. It's not good, is it? But like, you know, you have to do a lot of, and this toe separation, never forget the importance of being able to separate your toes. So that's really important too. But yeah, standing, you know, when you're standing like this, it's using all these different muscles up in here. So.
Okay. And for someone who comes from heel boots, like skate boots,
yes,
who wants to go to flat shoes, Flaneurz or sneakers, skate, what would be your advice?
Don't stand up with straight legs immediately, because you'll just
bend your knees. Bend your knees. Bend your knees.
But it's just an adjustment. You get used to it. It's a different center of gravity. And I think, you know, I spend a lot of time explaining this to people, but when you're standing, toes are here, heels are here, you know, and then that's all your body weight. So if you stand with straight legs, you're going to flip up, you know. You need to think about having your knees bent and being a bit more with your body weight centered. That way you've got full control, and it's just a different position. Very comfortable.
My advice would be you have to have your knee.
Mm.
If you look at your knee, it has to be on the same line as the top of your foot.
Yes.
And your ass has to be in the same line as your heel.
Yeah. I've never worked out if
that
the
means,
butt is over my
that
foot,
means
but I do look at
this is the security position for skaters. If you bend your knees enough to have them in the same line as the top of your foot, and your ass as the same line as the heel of your foot. I don't know if it's clear, but in my mind, it's really clear.
Yeah, super clear. Yeah. And I think this is also the most classic thing I hear from people that have like put on skates, had an accident, and never did it again. Or when I see people at the rink, like I'm always just being around going, bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees, because we walk pretty much with straight legs, and then you see people that are beginning and they're crouched like that, but as soon as they get comfortable, they straighten their legs again, and then that's when they stack, because all the weight goes on the heels. And I'm always saying, walk like we used to say, you know, walk like a monkey, like walk like a duck, bend your knees and like walk over like this, and just to get used to moving your center of gravity over between the two sets of wheels, so that then you're in control and then you can fly.
Yep. These are good answers, and following all the skate lessons that you have. I hope they will go on after the quarantine.
The parties?
Because there were not the skate lessons, the skate class that you have on Instagram nowadays. I hope they will continue after quarantine, because this is so good. I mean, if you're in LA, it's easy to find classes, but or in Paris, but maybe for some people who are not there. When we did some with Flaneurz, and we were having people everywhere. Yeah. And they are still online. People can look at them.
Yes.
So that's good. That's good to share. I mean, roller skate world is we call it skate family, and people giving advices like this.
It is family because,
And
you know, I always like I think it is changing. It's definitely changing, but I do really that when that first year in Barcelona, which was such a testament to like the beauty of social media, of like being, you know, when you had this niche thing that you're into, because it was still relatively niche back then. And then it was this beautiful combination of the internet finally working and beautiful Barcelona. And internationally, everyone who was like that one skater in their neighborhood or that one skater from the skate, like so many people came by themselves. They weren't people that were coming as a group. Now, like the last few years, yes, but that very first year, it was like one, you know, I met so many skaters who were from one skater from Korea, one skater from the Philippines, one skater from Canada, one skater from New York, one skater from Adelaide, and it was like you saw an ad on Facebook or Instagram and you were like, there's a festival in Barcelona on this beautiful stretch of concrete on the beach, and it's this weekend, and all you got to do is get there. And people were like, yep, these are my people. And it like put everyone, and it is that thing of skate family, because when you live the culture and when it's something that it's really, you know, I liken it to like when being on trapeze in circus school, like when you hang on a trapeze, right, for a long time, your body feels different. And if I don't every now and then hang off something, I just don't feel right. Like my spine doesn't feel right. You know, it's like once you've unlocked that, and skating for me is the same. Once you've unlocked that feeling of skating and like the endorphins and all the things you get through skating, if you don't skate for ages, it's like, oh, something's missing. Like I need to get that thing. And so you meet all these people, you know, not even all being able to speak English or whatever, but you meet in this place, and it was just like, yeah, I don't need to discuss half of this with you because we're already there. It's happened. And it was beautiful. And
so
now, guys, as it grows, like, you know, and it's not like, I can only think of one terrible example, so I'm not going to say it, but like, it's not like, I don't know. It's not a sport or a thing that like, you know, it's not like a snobby sport. Like, I think skaters naturally want more people to skate and want to encourage more people and want to grow it. So that it's great. I feel like it's like the anti-corona. It's like spreading, no? Maybe.
Can be. For those who don't know, we are talking about the Barcelona Skate Love. It happens every year. It's the second weekend of September in Barcelona. Skate Love Barcelona. You will find all the information on internet and on the social networks. Shout out to Michelle, who is organizing it. We hope it will happen this year. Another great event will be Roland London, end of July. We hope it will happen with the MCs, the great guys, the best for me, the best skaters, the best dancers in Europe. And then you have a lot of events also in the US. I love Skateathon. We hope it will happen. Skateathon, it's in September, and it's the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
It's in Atlanta.
Yes.
Atlanta is one of the mecca of rhythm skating, with Chicago and Detroit and LA also.
We had a whole plan to go this year.
You going Skateathon?
Fingers crossed.
Let's hope it will happen. Marawa, we didn't spoke about I want to go to Paradise. Maybe you want to tell us something about it?
Yes. So Paradise is my online shop. Also on Instagram. I want to go to Paradise because who doesn't? And it came out of I've had, you know, it's evolved over the last few years a lot, and it has become like the perfect place for me to put everything that I make that is part of what I do. And being someone who is naturally kind of curvy, it's amazing how few options there are out there for sporty active wear that actually fits and that you actually want to be seen in. So it took me a long time, and being in LA, I had to move everything from London to here, but like it's, I feel especially now that it's really found its place. And so it's an online resource mainly for women, but we have a lot of guys that shop there as well, for clothing that you can skate in, that you can hula hoop in, that you can stretch in, that you can dance in, that you can move in. It's just for movement. Coupled with the fact that I have a real problem with fast fashion and stuff that's made to just be thrown out. These t-shirts we get in LA, and they're actually made from 100% recycled cotton. They're also made in LA.
They are made in LA.
Yeah, and they're 100% recycled cotton. And because of that, they're not like, you know, when you get like, I mean, a bamboo t-shirt is nice to sleep in because it's soft and gentle. But also when you're skating and stuff, you don't want to be, you know, someone just sent a picture to Bruised, like just before I did this, and it was they'd gone skating in activewear, and then they'd like slid down a hill, and they were like like their clothes just evaporated. And it's like, you know, these t-shirts, if you stack it, like they've got a bit of durability to them, and they're just like, they're really comfy fits. I get it all made in LA. I get all the fabrics. It's just at iwannagotoparadise.com. I'll put it in there afterwards or something. It's one of the only accounts I follow. I only follow like 4 accounts. But,
just the junkie is asking, where will you do restock?
Where do I stock?
When will you do restock?
Restock. So I just posted today because quarantine, people are going mad. So we just restocked hoops and denim shorts. Nearly all the hoops are gone. A lot of the denim shorts are running out, but you can pre-order them in there. Just DM me on the Paradise account if you can't find something you want. Thank you, Sheena, who's out there. She's putting links up for us. But yeah, it has everything you can need to skate, to hoop, to move. Cotton lycra. Actually, just going to put a little note in there because I've been doing a lot of reading about it this week, because there's a lot of movement now with activewear to use recycled fabrics that are made from recycled bottles, which is a really big thing. And I spent a lot of time looking into it last year, and I've been re-looking into it this year because I kind of want to write about it, because there's this whole movement now. It's everyone's recycled fabrics and blah, 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 and it's all so great. But like these ones that are made out of plastics, they just, when you wash them, the plastic comes out and you can't catch it, and it goes back in the ocean, goes in the fish you eat, and it's gonna stop. And I definitely don't want to be involved in it. So we use cotton lycra, like it's 5% lycra, 95% cotton. For me right now, that's the best that I've found. I try to do a lot of research into where we source everything. Everything's made in LA. You know, I don't know what else to say, but I tried very hard to get all that stuff
I got
right.
you.
We have international
We
shipping.
got you.
We it's all made here, and we get it all local. So
Cool.
I feel good wearing it. I feel like I'm not trying to make any landfill, and I'm not trying to make anything that doesn't last. We're trying to make things that, you know, that you can be active in, that you feel good in, and it's not going to like get washed twice and chuck it out. You're going to wear this, you know, forever.
And look good.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Because I saw I saw some booties in those shorts. They were looking good.
Thank you.
So,
yes.
yes. I looked at them.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we coming to an end. We would have many things more to say, but if you want to say more things to Marawa, you will have to meet her at her Paradise roller disco. Let's hope you will do one soon.
We nearly
if not, we
nearly did the Paris one last year. We were that close. It's gonna happen.
Things will happen. Things will happen.
It's gonna happen.
Things will happen.
100%.
Let us know when. Let me know. Let us know when you're in Paris.
Absolutely.
Guys, you can follow Marawa on Instagram. You can follow I Want to Go to Paradise. You can have some news about Daryl's life every day on Marawa's Instagram account.
You made Daryl some
new
little
boyfriend.
tiny flaneurz, some little mini flaneurz for Daryl that he can just clip his little feet into.
Teach him how to skate, and then we'll see.
He's so cute. Look what I made him.
Marawa is having a squirrel.
This is Daryl.
Okay, so if you teach him how to skate, we'll make him some skate.
All right, maybe I'll try and get Daryl into the skate today. Maybe I can put some almonds on the skate and see if Daryl will take them. This could be good.
Last thing you want to say, Marawa, to wrap up this little interview?
Thank you for having me, and thank you exactly to my point. Skaters want more people to skate. This is what we need for the culture. That's what you're doing.
Guys, you know what to do. You have to put your skates on, even if you're on quarantine, even if you have a small flat, You have to cook with your skates. You have to go shower with your skates. Do everything with skates on, and you will become good skater.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Marawa.
Exactly.
See you on skates.
Thank you for having me. Yes. See you on the rink.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes. Bye bye.